All right. I'm back again. Back like I left my keys. Say that. Look. When your captain told me a few years ago, why don't you start a church or be a pastor? And I'm thinking, okay. I told him because I'm not qualified to be a pastor. That's why I don't meet the biblical qualifications. But I said, even if I did have my own church, I said, you Nicholases ain't coming to my church. I mean, at first, I didn't say much about it. I let it go. But after a while, man, why you don't have a church? Then when you go off on them, and finally, when you realize they're really saying, stop talking about Jesus at the workplace. And then they finally exposed themselves and they said, you ain't supposed to talk about the Lord and politics. They don't like that at work. But I'm looking at them like, dude, you always talking about politics. Yeah, he was a Democrat supporter and you always got something to say about the conservatives and Republicans or whatever. And I'm realizing the slow hatred that's in that individual. He did a good job of trying to disguise it, but I figured it out. And I said, because you ain't gonna come to my church, so why would I be gonna start a church as if you gonna come to the building and get the good word? You're not. You know why? Because God got a sense of humor. I've been called a house Nicholas since I was young. Matter of fact, cat who worked here called me a house Nicholas one time because a year-long weekend, when I would come on the weekend, I worked in the building putting these muscles to work. But then one day they needed me outside on the weekend, which is not normal. The dude, the sachet slum, pulled up on me, kicking his foot, trying to be all mysterious. He tried to be more mysterious than any woman, twitching around here and sashaying around here. So they let you out here with us field Nicholases, huh? And I bust out laughing. I ain't gonna lie, it was hilarious. He got me. That was a good one. But God got a sense of humor. He took the house Negro, the house Nicholas, and made him a field Nicholas, because the harvest is plenty and the laborers are few. So go ye therefore into the Lord of the harvest and reap of his harvest. He sent the word to y'all in the flesh, at the job. You don't tell me what I can't talk about. I don't like a lot of stuff y'all talk about. You ain't gonna tell me what I can't talk about up in here. I ain't gonna march your Bible thumping behind off this property. That was like 3 years ago. I'm still here. I ain't going nowhere, because God has got me as a spiritual overseer to your soul. He put me around you for your blessing and your protection. You sitting up there saying, go get a church, trying to be all subtle. You don't want to hear the word. You just don't want me talking about Jesus. Well, stay out of my face, then you won't hear about it.